Jessica Brevord, and this is Kitchen Table Productions, a show dedicated to living well with low carb. Well, I know we got Easter right around the corner here, and it's going to be hard for some of us to get past that Easter holiday without a little bit of candy. I mean, let's face it, Easter candy is a big part of what Easter is all about, isn't it? At least it was when we were kids. Now that we're adults and we're having problems with our weight, and certainly problems with our carbs, we need to be more careful. Now, what I'm going to do today, instead of actually cooking something, I am going to be reviewing some of the commercially available chocolates. Now, it took me a long time to review these, mostly because every single one of them is made with maltitol, which is a sugar alcohol. Taken in sufficient quantities, it can have a laxative effect, and if you're not careful with them, you can easily end up spending your whole Easter in a very small room with a very hard white friend. I would definitely recommend avoiding that. Even though a lot of these candies will say 3 to 5 per serving, do yourself a favor. Keep it to one. One a day, one every 12 hours, and drink lots of water with it. I find that drinking lots of water kind of helps dilute some of the effects. It's like you can't quite form bubbles if you drink enough water. I would definitely recommend doing that. Alright, so now that I've got my caveats out of the way, a lot of these, if you look at the packages, it'll say something along the lines of 5 servings, has, roughly 20 to 26 carbs per serving. However, you have to remember, you have to subtract sugar alcohols and fiber. Some of these will actually have fiber in them. And once you do that, you'll end up with 1 or 2 carbs divided by the number of candies that are in a serving. And you'll see for most of these, you're somewhere between half a carb to a carb for a single piece. That's not bad at all if you absolutely need that Candy Jones. So I want to get started showing you some of the different varieties of chocolate I reviewed. Alright, first up we're going to do a couple of the different Russell Stover. Russell Stover makes about 6 different varieties, I think, or so, that I know of sugar-free chocolates. First one here is the strawberry cream. I love these. These are very good. These tended to be the ones if I kind of had a craving for chocolate, these are my go-tos. The strawberry flavor is bright and crisp and very nice, very spring-like. So this is one actually reminded me of Easter the most. All right, next up, the Russell Stover mint patties. The consistency was a little different than most mint patties that you would find, but the flavor was generally pretty good. So if you can get that slight shift in consistency, I think you'll do well with these. Russell Stover Pecan Delights. Now, you probably can't tell from listening to me or the fact that I live in New York, but a good part of my heritage is actually from the South. And I was actually a little disappointed in these. There needs to be a little bit more salt in the caramel. It was a bit cloying. I had really high hopes for these, but it just ended up being a bit of a disappointment. So, for some reason, most candy makers seem to have a problem with caramel. I don't know if they can't put the salt in there and still have a caramel consistency, but I think they need to go back to the drawing board on these. My opinion. Alright, in contrast, toffee squares. Man, did they nail these. These are great. Just the right amount of salt. It's got a good consistency on it, good flavor. I would highly recommend these. These were fabulous. Alright, next up on our sugar-free chocolate spotlight here, we're doing Hershey. We've got Special Dark and the regular chocolate. Now, I will admit, of all the chocolates that I have reviewed, these were most like their full sugar counterparts in flavor and consistency. These were really good. They're rather plain, since again, you're only looking at milk chocolate and dark chocolate, but they were really good. You could probably also melt these and use them to enrobe other things if you were making your own sugar-free chocolates. I haven't tried that, I don't know for certain, but you could give it a shot. If you're going to do that with any of it, I would definitely recommend these. They used to make a chocolate chip. I don't know if they still do. You can sometimes find them online though, so you might check that out too. Now my husband loves regular Reese's. In fact, Easter around this house doesn't tend to be so much about jelly beans and Peeps as it is about Reese's in various forms. Well, this various form is a little different. If you're expecting these to taste like regular Reese's, you'll be a bit disappointed. Now, the peanut butter is drier on these than you would usually expect from Reese's, and it had kind of some strange bubblegummy notes. Now, putting that aside, this is still a very good candy, and I would certainly still eat it from time to time. However, if I had to choose just one candy, it probably wouldn't be this because it's not close enough to the original. My opinion. Needs a little more salt too in the peanut butter. Just an itty skosh. Alright, next up, one of my favorite chocolate brands for sugar-free. Duh. These are beautifully smooth and creamy, delicious. I've got here a raspberry cream and a mint. There's also, of course, a chocolate flavored chocolate variety. These are really good. These, generally speaking, are some of my go-tos when I'm looking for a chocolate fix. Now, as you saw, most of the candies I've reviewed so far come in a little bag. You might be thinking of something more traditional, something more along the lines of this, especially if you think more like on Valentine's Day. However, this was quite a bit more expensive than the other boxes. And you would think, box of chocolates, open it up, nice, big, full of chocolate. So this is what you get. Notice here, these huge spacers between all the chocolates. I was so disappointed when I opened this up. There were 2 levels, which was nice. However, I mean, look at all this empty space. I felt cheated. And the chocolate was kind of a mixed bag. Some of these are really good, and some of these are just kind of flat. Most anything that was based on caramel, again, fell flat. There was not enough salt in the caramel to make it that caramelly taste, and ended up rather cloying as a result. Having said that, some of the good flavors in here are the chocolate buttercream, the orange cream, their peanut butter cream, their coconut cream was okay, and their toffee square was excellent. So if you're getting this maybe as a present for somebody else, you don't know what they're going to like, this might not be a bad thing. However, if you're looking for something for yourself, you might be better off finding 1 or 2 bags of something you like. It'll cost you about the same amount of money as buying this box, and I think you'll end up being happier in the long run. And last up, a non-chocolate candy. This is going to be Werther's Originals. I'm kind of holding the package close here. In sugar-free. These were very good flavor. They last a nice long time because you can just kind of let them melt in your mouth. They are, however, teeny. These are about half the size of regular Werther's. However, once you start subtracting all the sugar alcohols and everything, you find out that these are probably about a 1/4 carb each. These still probably should count it as a half carb at least, or a full carb. And again, I would limit myself to probably no more than 2 of these a day, just to be on the safe side. Well, that's my candy review. I hope you found it helpful, and certainly remember to drink that water and eat these only in moderation. Not only because they do still have calories. Some of these, full serving is 270 calories. Because of that laxative effect. Drink that water. It's very important. It's really going to help you. This review is available at my website, kitchentableproductions.net. My name is Jessica Before, and this is Kitchen Table Productions.